I had a video on my For You page that I would like to talk about. I'm going to be tagging the creator down below. But before I do that, and I intentionally did not stitch her video because for some reason when I stitched the video, I can't screen record something and I wanted this to be in one video. That's why I screen recorded it. And before I do that, if you are a transracial adoptee, please be warned. There's a trigger warning for transracial adoptees, okay? Or adoptees generally, okay? Oh boy. Okay. I'll get to the hair in a minute, but that's besides the point. Before I say what I want to say, I'm not an adoptee, okay? So if you are an adoptee and you had wonderful experiences, God bless your soul. I'm very happy for you. However, the truth of the matter is, and that's non-debatable, adoptions are legalized human trafficking. And that's that, okay? This does not, to me personally, that's the only exception. I stand to be corrected, of course. An interfamily adoption is a different scenario altogether. We are talking about you go to an agency, or worst case, you go to any African country, you go to India, you go wherever, and you literally buy another human being. That can never be ethical. It can never be right. And if the social hierarchy, meaning that the adoptive parents are white and the child is BPOC, if that's the case, it's 10 times worse. Okay. First and foremost, I don't know the mother of this baby, and I'm very happy that she got to decide, and she decided to keep her child. That's an amazing decision, and I'm so happy and I'm proud of her for that. However, adoption is not your fucking content, okay? But I understood why you do what you do and the way you do it when I looked at your bio, and I'm going to share that with you guys. And do you know what's actually funny here? I overshare, yeah, you do. But that's besides the point. I mean, if you want to overshare, go ahead. Your inappropriate bestie. The age gap couple, y'all are literally just 10 years apart, but as you please. Your inappropriate bestie. Do you know being inappropriate is not a flex? It's not a flex. Being inappropriate is not a flex, babe. You're literally taking pride in being arrogant, ignorant. I meant to say ignorant, not arrogant, sorry. You're literally taking pride in being ignorant. So I don't know why you think that this is in any way a flex, but at least you are self-aware. I need to give you that. Adoption is not your solution for infertility. I get that if you really want to have children and you're infertile, that's painful. I can absolutely imagine that. But adoption is not the solution for that. It's not. Another person's destiny and their life is not the solution for your inability to have children. There are many ways, but adoption should not be the case. The adoption system is highly rigged, is highly problematic. It is literally highly rooted in capitalism and racism, and participating in that, and on top of that, making this your entire content. I mean, not you specifically now, but there are literally content creators on this app that make adopting their entire internet personality. Their entire content is all about exploiting and tokenizing their adopted child. Another person's biological child will never be yours. Let me just repeat myself. Just because you legally bought that child doesn't make it yours. And the fact that y'all feel so entitled to another person's child and that child's life just because you happen to not be able to have kids is very alarming. But what really set me off was your hair. And when I went to your profile, I very much understood why you chose the bio you chose. And it's about to get a lot worse. You are truly inappropriate. And do you know why? Because you are using the culture of an entire demographic, labeling it crazy hair, and telling us how your hair went back to normal, implying that dreadlocks, locks, braids, whatever, are not normal. You know, when you want to raise a child, when you have the intention of raising a child, you should be a lot more sensitive with the words you choose, because at the end of the day, you are putting whatever mindset you have on another human being and using that mindset to raise that child with the same moral standards and expectations that you have. And let me tell you, another person's culture is not your crazy hair. Another person's culture is not your not normal. Your hair is not normal just because it happens to be portrayed as the standard. Our hair has always been portrayed as the standard. And the fact that you labeled the dreadlocks as crazy hair and told us how you went back to normal, meaning the dreadlocks are besides normal or outside the norm, shows me that you have absolutely zero knowledge about sensitivity in language and racism in language, and also inherited racism when it comes to your own mindset. Because you were very quick to put on the dreadlocks for a week because you wanted to know how it is. You did zero research about it. You had absolutely no intention of being sympathetic or empathic towards another person's culture, to be sensitive to another person's culture. You put that on like a fucking costume and then labeled it not normal. Thank God that adoption did not work out, because God forbid, with that mindset, you are going to raise a child. And not only did you say the crazy dreads and you went back to normal, you said you like being different. So another person's culture is your being different? Really? Wow. Wow. I'm wondering if, God forbid, you will get to adopt a child that is not white. What morals are you going to install in that child? That Black people's culture and the way they have been doing their hair for centuries, long before we even existed, is crazy to you? And that your hair is the default because you went back to normal? You could have said, I went back to my natural hair. I went back to my before. The English language offers a variety of words you could have used, but you choose to say normal and crazy dreads. Yeah. Take the mob out. Words have so much weight and so much power. But they don't need to have that to you, because you, unlike the people you used their cultures to put on your hair to label it crazy and label it a mob, you never had to look for representation. You never had to look for belonging. You never had to question your identity. Your visual characteristics were never a threat to your safety, your life, your career, your social life, whatever it may be. You've always been labeled a standard. So it's very, very easy for you to just go and grab from this culture, grab from that culture, put it on your head just because you want to try it. Things that Black people are being denied for. Things that cost Black children their belonging in certain teams. They were forced to cut off their dreadlocks because it doesn't look professional enough. There have been countless instances where schools cut off Black people's hair, but you don't know that because you just wanted to try it, right? And on top of that, you felt entitled enough to speak in a manner to a Black transracial adoptee that was trying to make you understand how problematic your takes are in a way that was absolutely disgusting. I saw your comments. I saw the way you spoke to them, because you feel entitled to another person's child and still try to tell the world, oh, am I blaming her for keeping her child? Of course not. Yes, you do. You don't need to blame somebody. You don't need to say it to actually blame the person. Your whole mannerism, the fact that you use this as a content, shows us that you are blaming her. You are not entitled to another person's child or their culture just because you want to try it. Another person's identity, a marginalized identity, is not your costume. You need to drop your phone, read a book or two, and God forbid, you do not need to raise a child. You need to parent yourself first and educate yourself on living realities outside of your own. This is not cute. And with that mindset, you should not be raising a child, not your own and not an adopted one.